how to make a do-it-yourself, high-gloss, weather-resistant Santa wall, door, or window hanging decoration. Now, I started this project by going to Michael's Art Supply, and they have these pre-cut designs. I chose the Santa Claus, and I thought this would be a pretty simple, very easy project. But when I really looked at it, you know, the white on the eyebrow and the rim of the hat and the mustache, if I were just to paint them all white, there would be no lines of demarcation between each of the different items. Now, I could have just outlined them with a black marker after painting them white, but I decided to cut out, and I had some scrap 1/4-inch plywood, each one of those features. So the rim of the hat, the eyebrows, the mustache, the lips, etc. And I'm going to glue these on after I paint them. And I think that this will make those different items that are kind of the same color stand out a little bit better. And it's just easier for me than trying to paint it and make it look good. So then I just started by painting or spray painting everything that was supposed to be white. So, you know, the rim of the hat, the beard, the mustache, the cuffs on the jacket, the lower rim on the jacket, anything that has to be white, I sprayed white. And then, of course, I'll let this completely dry. The spray paint dries real quick. I was able to move the whole thing into my boiler room, and then it dries in half an hour. I also, at the same time, painted each one of those separate, you know, the rim of the hat and the mustache, etc. I also painted those white. Now, as an afterthought, to make the outline of the beard stand out a little bit more, I used a Dremel grinder and just carved the outline, or kind of traced the outline. I could still see the original design underneath that white paint. In hindsight, I should have done that prior to painting the white or the white spray paint. And in fact, after I did this, I went back and resprayed it white again. While I had that Dremel grinder out, I added some details to the beard, just some hair. I was just put a whole bunch of little grooves. It really didn't take that long. And it really makes the end product look so much better. So this is what it's going to look like with everything glued up. And all those pieces were just cut out with a jigsaw out of some scrap 1/4-inch plywood I had. I like the way that outlining the beard came out so much that I decided to also outline the lower rim on the jacket, you know, the white area, and then I did the same thing on the boots. You don't really have to, because there would be distinction there, or lines of demarcation, because it changes from red to white. So you could just do that with the paint, but I had the Dremel grinder out. I was motivated, and I just, you know, continued. So now that everything's white, I did go back and just hand paint the background of the face a beige. I happen to have that color left over from another project also. And then I used painter's tape, painted over everything that had to be, or taped over everything that had to be white, and then sprayed everything that needed to be red. And again, I moved this into my boiler room. I let that paint completely dry for a half hour, 45 minutes, and then I was able to peel that painter's tape away. So now I've got the background of the face, the flesh color, I've got the white, and I've got the red. So it really starts to come together pretty quickly. For the eyes, I just kind of traced them, you know, with a pencil or pen, and then I went back over just with a black magic marker, a fine Sharpie. And I'm no artist here, so bear with me. I went back to the painter's tape, masked off everything, exposing everything that had to be black, which is the belt and the buckles and the mittens. And I sprayed those black. Same thing. Of course, also the boots. And then same thing, I moved it into my boiler room, let it dry for 45 minutes, removed the painter's tape. And then I glued up all of the pieces, the mustache and the eyebrows. And then to finish this, I'm going to give it a real high gloss, weather resistant finish. This is a epoxy resin from TotalBoat.com called their MakerPoxy. So you mix it up 2 parts slowly for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I poured it on, then I spread it out with a little disposable paintbrush. And then to get out any bubbles that are in the mix, you want to go back over this thing and heat it up. Now you can use a little heat gun. I prefer to use a little butane torch. This is my butane torch. And you don't want to cook the resin, or you don't want to burn the resin. So it's just a very quick passing over, and that heats up the resin a little bit. It allows any bubbles that are in that mix to rise to the surface and dissipate. So you end up with a much cleaner surface and a much shinier, high gloss finished product. This has to dry for probably 48 hours before it can be, hung on an outdoor door. And this is the finished product. I hope you like the project. Please check us out on the web, DIYEasycrafts.com.